Oh, what's this right here? I don't know. We're going inside our supporters lodge.
But you'll see that there are lots of buildings and it's a huge place. Okay? So you can come back and look at that later if you've got time. But if you could just gather round, I'll just do a little bit of history before we set off. I don't know what your background is in English history. Do you know the date 1066? The Battle of Hastings, what happened? Yeah, but what's the result? William the Conqueror came over from Normandy and he conquered us, and it's the last time that Britain has been conquered. Britain has not been conquered since then. They had a go in the First and the Second World War, but they didn't succeed. So we haven't been conquered since then, mainly because we're an island, and that's saved us. But also the prayers of the people, I understand, also saved us. Okay, now then, the Cistercians came here in 1132. So it wasn't very long after, really, William the Conqueror, 66, 76, 89, 616. Well, it's about 50 or 60 years, 60 or 70 years, isn't it, after the conquest. So that would be very fresh in everybody's mind. So if you want to remember one day today, remember 1132. There'll be one other right at the end, which I want you to remember as well, because the monks were here for 400 years. Okay, now how did they come to be here? Well, we talked about St. Benedict. He was an Italian. He would be a few years older than you when he decided to be a monk. He got fed up with his partying lifestyle in Rome, and he took his Bible, and he went to a cave, and he started to read his Bible and to pray. And several of his friends decided they wanted to do the same thing, and they formed the first monks of the Benedictine order, named after Benedict. And they built a monastery at Monte Cassino. Now, if you know your history, there was a battle in the Second World War at Monte Cassino, which the Allies won, and it destroyed the monastery, unfortunately, did damage to it, but that's where it started. Then it went into France, and became very strong in France. But you know what happens with religious things? As time goes on, all your best thoughts sort of sink, and you become more addicted to the pleasures of life. And that's what happened to the monks at Cluny in France. As time went on, they became more lax. And so some of the monks decided about, when would it be, 1060s roughly, that they wanted to do something better. So they came out and they formed the Cistercians. And the Cistercians came to England in 1128. And they were invited up to York. Have you been to York? They were invited up to York on their way to Helmsley, which is over in East Yorkshire. And they made a big impression on the monks there. And so some of the monks there, the Benedictine monks there, said, oh, we want to be Cistercians as well. So they appealed to the abbot, and the abbot said, no way, you stay here. And as you've got to do what the abbot says, there's no choice. And so they then decided to ask the Archbishop of York if he would support them. And the Archbishop did. And I gather there was a little fight in the cloisters. You don't think of monks fighting. There was a little fight in the cloisters. And the Archbishop said to the monks, okay, if you want to be Cistercians, I've got some nice land near Ripon, and I have got a palace at Ripon, and as it's Christmas time, you can spend Christmas in my palace in Ripon, and then you can go up Skeldale, which is what this is, and build your monastery in Skeldale. Okay, and that's what happened in winter of 1132. Now, if it had been a winter, people who come from Maryland won't appreciate this quite so much, but in winter, it could have been pretty chilly. They got no shelter, they've only got the clothes they stood up in, the food they carried on their back, possibly some tents, their Bibles, of course. So what they used to do is sit under the yew trees and read their Bibles and pray. 7 times a day they would pray. So So that's a bit of a faker, isn't it? Can you imagine praying 7 times a day in church? You wouldn't have much time for anything else. So that's when they came. And they were here, as I say, for 400 years. So what we'll do now, we'll go out and look to see just what they built.